Third and Long is brought to you by Envision Custom Renovations. Transform your home into luxury living.
This is Third and Long. This is Coach Dave. This is your host. It's always more fun when you win, so we have to get this out of the way. That Montreal game last week, I've never seen a game where you guys played so well. I mean, look at both stats. Look how your defense played. But fumbles and turnovers, 5 turnovers. Yep. It was just one of those perfect storms for a loss that you really have no explanation for.
Oh, there's an explanation.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, you said it. Frustrating, very frustrating. It was a great day out there. Weather was nice, great crowd, fun atmosphere. We started off on fire. Our defense settled in. They had a tough first drive, but they settled in. And really where we lost it, we did lose it definitely with our ball security on offense. And the other thing would be turnovers. We had a really poor day on special teams, which most people don't pay attention to. But we lost that battle big time. And offensively, you just can't continually giving teams chances. I mean, I think all of our turnovers, we were on the other side of 55, probably in scoring range on all of them. We missed a field goal as well. Just didn't take advantage of opportunities. It was frustrating. It was a tough one to watch the tape and believe you lost, but certainly enough big mistakes that, it's very believable.
It was one of those games. And the guys that turn the ball over normally don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, and it wasn't like one guy. I mean, they were good hits. I mean, give them credit. We had, though, 4 receivers approaching 100 yards. I mean, Eric was up there about in high 80s. Reggie had 98. Then we have 2 guys that hadn't been 100 all year, Josh Huff and Hergy Mayala.
Right.
Kind of break out. And like you said, Bo had big numbers. Our running game was solid. Felt like we had good balance. We just made the big mistakes. Or did they create the turnovers? I think it's a little combination of both, but it was frustrating, especially because where it was happening. We were right there knocking on the doorstep, taking the lead, getting a little bigger cushion, and we kept coughing it up. So, it was a tough one. It certainly did. It felt like one of those games that we were our own worst enemy, and yet we did play pretty solid.
1-5 in Montreal in your last 6 visits. So what's that place got over you?
Well, we did switch. We tried to change it up, and like you said, I felt like the guys had good energy, and I felt like they were committed and locked in. Sometimes, certain teams you're a better matchup against, but it's been 2 close games, and I feel like either team could have, won or lost either one of the games. But we're 0-2 against them. Hopefully we get another shot at it.
And 2 losses and some more controversial calls.
Well, I mean, the first one was a lot of controversy. I don't really feel like the refs had a lot to do with this one.
Yeah?
Because, I mean, we had some PIs that were inadvertent pass interference that gave them some good yards. We kind of earned the rest of the calls on penalties, though, and to be honest, I think it was just that the ball security. It was us not taking care of the little things, but also them making the bigger plays. I mean, we did have a lot of good plays. If I would say we didn't maybe have as many great plays as them, and they certainly had the great plays.
I would love to see this matchup in the Grey Cup because I know there's a heated rivalry. I mean, it was present again. I mean, we saw the battle on the first one, but you could just tell tensions were tight with these 2 teams. Yeah. Why is that? Is it because so many former Stamps are there?
I think that's on their end. I think you're right.
Yeah.
They play with a chip on their shoulder, kind of us against the world type of thing. We were definitely a little owly from the way we lost last time. To be honest, you should be owly. I don't like happy people in football. I really don't. I want to get after them, and I want people that are a little bit maybe toeing the line, not crossing the line. So, and they do that. They do that as well. So they're a rough, big, physical team. Though we did match them. I thought that intensity and physicality, we were there. Just like you said, just made too many mistakes.
Let's talk about Kihara Jones, the guy you know very well. He's done very well. I mean, after with all the red flags that were facing him and him to take over that, he really has to be a Coach of the Year candidate.
I think he is, for sure. A lot of times the Coach of the Year is a guy that maybe the team wasn't as good, and he brings them to a little bit more prominence. I personally, who knows who wins it? I think there's some other quality candidates out there. To be honest,
2 Dickenson boys could be. Yeah, the Dickenson twins.
The thing that's cool about a Coach of the Year, because I was fortunate enough to win one, is you do feel like your staff there's some validation for your staff that you're doing a good job. And I think we're doing an outstanding job as well. Probably, I feel, as good a job as we've done. And the record is still solid, but maybe not to some of the standards, but we've been there. But for what we've had to go through. But Kihara definitely had a lot of hurdles, and he's overcome a lot of them. You know, I think they're just treading right about 500, but they are much better than they've been. You know, my brother would be there as a good candidate, and Mike O'Shea was definitely right there. They've hit some hard times. We've all had to deal with quarterback issues, all four of us. I think you can see, though, the teams that when they win, the quarterbacks are playing well. You know, we've been able to win with Nick and Bone back, but you can tell Vernon, Fajardo, obviously Strevler has had some good games. When the quarterback's playing well, that's when you win.
Right.